Hello, I am in the Lost Cove Wilderness Study Area of Pisgah National Forest, North Carolina, for what is planned to be a 3-day backpacking adventure. Many people refer to this general area as Wilson Creek, and I'm excited because this is my first trip into the backcountry of Wilson Creek. I've front country camped and trout fished many times in this sector. Excited to do some exploration. Not planning on crushing a ton of miles over the next few days. I set myself a pretty conservative itinerary to give plenty of time to hopefully do some fishing up and down the beautiful streams that are out here. So in addition to that, I hope to see a couple waterfalls, beautiful swimming pools, forests, maybe a view or two along the way, but not too much, more of a stream focus. And the big challenge that I could have over the next few days is the weather. Should be nice and warm for me, but there is a high chance of rain every day, so we'll see how dry I'm able to stay. I'm stoked to get exploring. It's time to hit the trail. I've made it to the top of my first waterfall of the trip, Hunt Fish Falls. And the actual waterfall is a little more downstream. But these mountain streams in the Wilson Creek area are as beautiful as it gets. Hunt Fish Falls. Looks like I'll have some wet feet today. Gotta get through right over to that other side. Not a bad crossing. I'll just pop off the shoes, pop on the Crocs, and make it through. Crystal clear mountain stream in a verdant green forest. It is tough to beat that for sheer beauty. Home sweet home. Here's a look at camp for the night. I am super stoked because this is exactly what I was looking for. A nice private site, close to a stream, established campsite. Beautiful, beautiful spot. And I even have my own personal little waterfall there tonight. Can't beat that. Lost Cove is a wilderness study area, a slight but crucial distinction from the more common wilderness area. North Carolina's WSAs continue to fight for their protection today, with the potential for declassification looming until they receive full designation. I was a couple hours behind schedule making it to the trailhead today, and so my punishment was no fishing until I got to the campsite and got camp set up. Well, I'm here, camp is set up, so now I think it's time to have a little fun and see what I can catch. On this trip, I'm using the Grandfather Ranger District map by Pisgah Map Co., as well as the free map download for the free Avenza app of the Wilson Creek area. Let's take a look at the map for day 1. I started today at the Hunt Fish Falls trailhead, followed the Hunt Fish Falls trail down until it intersected with the Lost Cove Loop trail, and then I took that down past the Timber Ridge connection to where camp is set up for the night along this split in the creeks. Day 1 was close to 2 miles. Day 1 has been a great day. Short yet scenic hike in the beautiful Hunt Fish Falls along Lost Cove Creek, and I'm super happy with my campsite here along Gragg, Prong. It was everything I could have hoped for and more. Very, very beautiful site. I've done some fishing this afternoon. Only got on some little chubs, but I'll try to take some casts right when darkness is setting in and see if any of the trout want to come out and play. Tomorrow I'll have another beautiful hike with several creek crossings, probably a couple wet feet ones along the way. Looking forward to it. Good night. Look at the weird head on this guy. Morning. Made it to day 2. Had a good relaxing night last night. The rain came in right around dark and it was time to go to bed anyways, so that helped put me right to sleep. Enjoying the beautiful morning here at my awesome campsite. Just hanging out on the beach for a little bit, getting some breakfast in, taking a couple morning casts. My hike today, I should get to see at least 1 or 2 pretty waterfalls, so I'm looking forward to that. And gonna explore a little more of the Lost Cove Wilderness Study area. Could be some rain again later on today, so hopefully I'll be able to make it to camp and get set up before that comes in. But other than that, I'm looking forward to day 2. First crossing of the day, and very soon after starting out, but I'm gonna see if I can go downstream a little bit and find some rocks to take my way across. This is a piece from one of the old railroads that used to crisscross this area here above Gragg, Prong. Gragg, Prong Falls. Awesome. There are a lot of small cascades at the top of Gragg Prong Falls as well. A really scenic stretch of stream. a massive boulder, rock face, cliff type deal heading up towards Bee Mountain. After the Timber Ridge Trail split off, the Lost Cove Loop Trail has gotten much tighter. A small but pretty view here along the trail, and really socked in by clouds today, as evidenced by the top of that ridgeline up there. Welcome to another episode of Layne Did Not Make It to Camp Before the Rain Started, starring Layne in the rain. Home sweet home. I've made to camp for the night. I was gonna go a little bit farther today, but this is a beautiful sight here, and I can't pass up staying right beside this incredible pool. Look at that. We're gonna see if there's any fish in there shortly. The Wilson Creek area was a Cherokee hunting ground until settlers came in the 18th century and began logging heavily. A series of fires and floods swept through in the early 1900s, ending the same logging practices that were their cause. A high probability for the presence of uranium during the Rare II process in the 70s kept Lost Cove from receiving full wilderness designation. 3 companies prospected the area for uranium between 1955 and 1977, yet all of them abandoned exploration and released their permits, suggesting that the amount of uranium here, while existent, is not commercially viable. Therefore, there is no reason for Lost Cove to not receive full wilderness designation today. Let's take a look at the map for day 2. I started this day at my campsite on the Lost Cove Loop Trail, and then I continued on that trail past Gragg Prong Falls. This area is a little confusing. There are several trails and Forest Service roads that come together, but I ultimately continued on the Lost Cove Loop, past the intersection with Timber Ridge, up and over Bee Mountain, down, and the overlook is in this area, linked up with Lost Cove Creek, and then followed the Lost Cove Loop to my campsite for the night, somewhere around here. Day 2 was about 7 miles. Well, day 2 of my trip here in the Lost Cove Wilderness Study area of Pisgah National Forest has been another great day. Got caught in a little rain shower, but it passed fairly quickly, and afterwards the sun came out. A lot of great stream hiking today. Gragg Prong was beautiful with the falls. Lost Cove Creek has been beautiful. And in between I climbed up Timber Ridge and on top of Bee Mountain. I've got to finally catch some trout here at this spot, a couple small rainbows. And I'm going to enjoy the rest of this relaxing evening before finishing things off tomorrow. Good night. Well, good morning. Made it to day 3 of my trip here in the Lost Cove Wilderness Study Area, Wilson Creek. Had a peaceful night last night, no rain came through. And today I've got a couple short miles to finish things off with a few more wet crossings. But for now, I'm just enjoying this at what has to be one of the most idyllic spots in the world. Let's take a look at the map for day 3. I started today at my campsite along the Lost Cove Creek. I'm going to finish off the Lost Cove Loop Trail and link up with the Hunt Fish Falls back to my trailhead. Today should be about 2 miles for a trip total of approximately 11 miles. Another old railroad remnant right here along the trail. Choo choo, choo choo. I believe that this is the last wet feet crossing of my trip. Let's do it. These little streams get a lot deeper than they look, huh? Woo! Back at Huntfish Falls. Made a new buddy over there. He's doing some fishing. And just enjoying the last few relaxing minutes here before the last 3/4 of a mile of the trip. Beautiful, beautiful spot. Another great adventure comes to an end. 3 great days in the Lost Cove Wilderness Study Area of Wilson Creek, Pisgah National Forest, North Carolina. I had an awesome trip. This is my first time out in this area, and I was just blown away by how beautiful it was. All the streams, the pools, the riffles, the waterfalls. Spectacular. Really, really awesome. I enjoyed it, and it was fun getting to do some fishing along the way as well. So just a really great time overall. The weather was very cooperative, quite comfortable during the day, quite comfortable at night. Only one short rain shower. Can't ask for much better than that at this time of year. So I made a new buddy named Thomas down the falls, and just a 1/4 mile down the trail I met a backpacker who was just getting started on a week-long trip in this area. So good luck to him. And the trailhead is 10 feet up this way. That's gonna be it for me. Until next time, goodbye.